You want to please her any way possible, so why not go window shopping to New York's finest? Walking down the avenue, I'm strutting down the street. I'm listening to my music box, grooving with a beat. Just put in some overtime, couldn't stand the heat. Gonna meet my lady friend, got a date to keep. Gonna go uptown and try out something there. Maybe go downtown, it doesn't matter where. We'll keep on walking round, window shopping everywhere. Where we go, we don't care. Window shopping everywhere. Rockin' by Cartier, saw a flashy stone. Tried on something half that size, wow, I need a loan. Now she wants a party dress at Saks Fifth Avenue. Found the one that she could like, you know, I like it too. Gonna go uptown, try out something there. Maybe go downtown, it doesn't matter where. We'll keep on walking round, window shopping everywhere. Where we go, we don't care. Window shopping everywhere. Gotta find a fur now, nothing less than mink. Went to Bergdorf Goodman, my bankroll's on the brink. Off we go to Gucci's, baby wants some shoes. Went through all the fancy ones, got me singing the blues. Gonna go uptown, try out something there. Maybe go downtown, it doesn't matter where. We'll keep on walking round, window shopping everywhere. Where we go, we don't care. Window shopping everywhere. Window shopping everywhere. Window shopping everywhere. Oh, look there. That's nice. Well, I hope you liked window shopping from New York City. This did remind me of another city, Chicago, that I have a story that really doesn't have to do so much with a brain operation, but I thought it was an interesting story. Dr. Tony Raimondi was a very famous pediatric neurosurgeon, chief of one of the major hospitals in Chicago. There was a neurosurgery meeting there on pediatric neurosurgery that I attended. I had actually never been to Chicago before I went to this meeting. Well, at the introduction, Dr. Raimondi was talking about the virtues and extolling the virtues of Chicago as far as its Frank Lloyd Wright's architecture, the jazz music, the intellectuality of the Nobel Prize winners, and one thing after another. He also had mentioned that if I wanted some good food, if anyone wanted some good food, that he had operated on the manager of a pizza place down at the Loop. Anyway, after this meeting that evening, I was by myself and I decided to try a pizza. So I went down to the Loop, I found the restaurant, I found the manager, introduced myself, and sure enough, he gave me a wonderful pizza. And then afterwards, there was a meeting with Dr. Raimondi at somebody's house, another professional meeting, but I had some time to take care of, and the Jazz Messengers, which I was into jazz in those days, and I still am, and they were playing, and I went up to hear them. However, I had about an hour before the show started, so I decided to go across the street just to what a normal-looking bar to get a drink to pass the time. As I go into the bar, I am seated at the bar, and a woman comes over to me and says to me, "You look like such a very nice man." She no longer said that, And then all of a sudden the place was raided by the police. So the police start saying, everybody up against the wall, to which this woman who I just didn't even meet says to me, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. And I replied, if you knew this was going to happen and you thought I was such a nice man, I wish you would have told me ahead of time. Anyway, they completely ransacked the place over about a 20-minute period with everybody standing up against the wall. And finally, they left. I wanted to leave. And as I left, as I was going to leave, the manager comes over and says, well, that'll be $20. I said, $20 for what? I didn't have a drink. Was that for the stage show? So he says, don't be smart, just give me the $20. So I gave him the $20 and I left, and that was my introduction to Chicago. Another thing you have to be careful of in neurosurgery is when somebody is pulling your leg or acting in a malinger type fashion. In other words, they're malingering. And it's curious why people would do this. But one of the most notable ones that I remember is, again, in the emergency room at George Washington University Hospital. I was called down to see a teenager, a black teenager, who was lying on the gurney, apparently without being able to move his arms or legs. And in taking his story, he said, I don't know what happened to me. I was at school and I just all of a sudden fell down and I couldn't move my arms or legs since then. And he's lying on his back. So he was surrounded by 4 or 5 of his friends, and I would ask him to raise an arm or leg, which he wouldn't do it. And then I would lift each arm and let it go, and it would just plop down right to the bed. I would lift a leg and just drop, it would just plop down to the ground. But I had a feeling about this fellow because he was just so bizarrely calm about the whole situation. I said, I have an idea. Why don't we arm wrestle? He said, what? I said, let's arm wrestle. And I picked up his arm and I started to arm wrestle. And I picked it up and each time it would just plop right down. And I felt great because I was winning one after the other. But then after a number of times I said to him, no, wait a minute. Look me square in the eye. Are you going to let a white honky put you down like this? And I looked at him, and after about 10 or 15 seconds, he starts laughing hysterically, and he says, Doc, you got me. And he gets up and walks out of the emergency room. Obviously, this was a case of grandstanding in front of his friends.